Hi, it's Bernie again. So it's been a little while since we done the last video, but anyways, you can see we haven't been stopping at the car. We have the turbocharger in, bolted up. We cleaned up the inner fender a little bit on this side. This side here still has to be done. So right now the motor's in there. It's got a Summit Stage 2 cam in there, and valve springs, and other than opening the ring gap, all we have done is all stock and gaskets kicked. So anyway, what we're doing here now is the water pump sits in this area here, and the two lines, you can't see it right now, but the two lines comes out around this area and is really close to the chassis for the ones going over to the heater core. So anyway, what we're planning on doing is I took the other 6 liter, which is right here, and as you can see, this one still has the tubes into it. So what we're planning on doing with that is we're going to pipe tap it and put 2 AN fittings into it. So when we comes off it, we can go at a sharp 90, because I think the chassis part is only about this far from it, so it'll be pretty hard to kink on the hose. So anyway, the last time I done a set of these, I cut them off here flush, and or close to flush, and I stuck a carbide burr in there, and I weakened the size of it, and then I eventually pull them, just pull them out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to chop them off, and we'll see how much trouble it is to get them out, and I'll show you shortly. Okay, so we got one out. As you can see, what I end up doing is I cut them off, and when I'm ready to take them out, because I haven't grounded the bottom here yet, I slide that in, clamp the vice grips on, and it squats this to this, and it keeps the pipe from collapsing all the way when you take it out. You can see here I was a bit over aggressive. You can see I struck the aluminum a little bit, but considering it has to be pipe tapped, and this has gone there, and the larger one in this side, so it's lots of room there anyway. So that little spot there won't affect anything. So by the time it gets, like I said, pipe tapped, you can put a pipe tape onto it and put them in there, and they'll be fine. So now we take this one back out, and we get the dog grinder in here, carbide burr onto it. We dig out the bottom of that, and then clamp the vice grips on with the bolt into it, and that should make it a lot easier. Well, it'll start to turn first, and then it'll get out so far, and you can push something in behind it. So we'll holler out and see how it does. So as you can see, we had the bolt in, the vice grips put on it. We got it to turn a little bit, and we've been tapping, got the vice grips on hard. We've been tapping there, see that we get it out. So let's give it a little tap there now and see what it'll actually move out of there. So we got it right there. Didn't really go the first time. Maybe a bit stubborn. You get the picture, you can see it moving a little bit. A bigger pair of vice grips would help too. So, got a few little taps getting it out. Yeah, we're almost there. there we have it. Stubborn as hell, but they do come out. So I'll just check the sizes and do that one is bad. So I'm only get the pipe tap, so this is the bigger pipe tap. That one there, I may need to be enlarged a little. This one here is a lot closer. So alright, we get the pipe tap shoved into it and see if we get some threads in there. So we've been working the pipe tap back and forth. So as you know, if you run it down a little bit at a time, and they clean the pipe tap up every now and then, but you can't really sink the pipe tap all the way down because it's a tapered thread all the way. So if you put it all the way down and right to the end of it, then you want to put your AN fitting into it. The AN fitting wouldn't actually tighten, she'd bottom out on that there. So I've had her in and out there a couple times now. So if I look at that and bring that in, Tom puts a bit of thread sealer onto it, that's lots. So we'll back it up, we thread seal it, and get going on the other hole. So if you look at it roughly where we had it, so that's the pipe tap. So that's about where she brought up there. So I can actually keep on working it back and forth, and I could actually sink that all the way down. But then again, it'll you wouldn't be able to do that. The fitting you're putting in there will go all the way down until the shoulder here bottoms out on that, and it wouldn't seal. So if you got 3/4 of the thread in there, you're doing good. So that's that one to thread it. So we'll take the other one out, put some threads in the other one, and hopefully then we'll have two of them in, and we can put the water pump back on the motor in the car. So we got the tap started in the second one. So what you do, you a little bit at a time work it back and forth, right? And after you do that back and forth 4 or 5 times, it's not in there very far, as you can see. It's only just entered. I like to take them out and clean the flutes off in the tap. So as you can see, if you look down there, it's starting to make the threads, but it has a ways to go down this far. So we'll clean these off now, and clean that, and then start working down a little bit some more. Okay, so here we have it. The 2 fittings are in. So there's thread tape, and as you can see now, all we can do is get 2 AN fittings with 2 90s onto it. They can sit right next to each other. One's probably going to have to go here, one's probably going to have to go down or on an angle. Because you can have one on top of each other. So, okay, so we're going to unbolt the water pump. We're going to bolt it onto one in the car and see how this thing makes out. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So we get the 2 fittings coming out of there. But as you can see, there's not a whole lot of room over here between the fittings. So if we get 2 AN fittings that are 90s, should be able to come out here nicely and go back along under the motor and go up in the heater hose back there. So get a bit more light there. There you go. So yep, so anyway, that's the next thing. So this is actually in mounted, and like I said, inner fender that's done. I can actually put the exhaust back on this side, but that's the next thing. Now we're going to remove this inner fender here and get your turbocharger put on over there. And as we do that, we can still mount the power steering pump, and I'll get some accessory drives. Then now we got to also look into getting a radiator hose on here and down to the bottom down here before we reroute line, the drain line of the turbo, see where we're actually going to put that to. So yeah, it seems like you're always planning ahead a couple of steps when you're doing this. Down here. But yeah, it should be alright when it's done anyway. So alright, we'll move on to the next one and see you later. Okay, so a little bit of fast forward ahead. When we left off doing these lines down here to go to the heater core of the water pump. So last left off. Well, since that, we have the lower radiator hose installed. The other turbocharger and the other wheel well is installed. Most of the piping is hooked up. And for here, there was a lot of turns and twists, so we have a metal coolant tube, so it'll go in place like so. So it's starting to come together. And, you know, you always want it to get done a little bit quicker than what it is going, but it's pretty good right now. And you can see down there, steering shaft is back in the car. So, and now we got to put the power steering pump back on, and see what we're going to do with the alternator, and finish getting this Hodger Boost stuff started up. Get that finished up anyway. It's the only ran out there now is the pressure line from the Hodger Boost unit back to the power steering pump, or sorry, power steering box. So that's the only we have ran yet. We still got a return line here. Just got to hooked up. That goes to the pump. And you can see here, it's kind of interesting the way it goes. It goes from the power steering pump to the Hodger Boost, from the Hodger Boost to the steering box, and then the steering box returns one back to the pump, and the Hodger Boost returns one back to the pump. So most of the ones that have them, I have it turned on anyway, but most of the ones that have them, you easy look at the Hodger Boost system, is that it has two outlets in the pump back to it. Okay, so that's a little bit of stuff that we had done with it since the last video. So we're still plugging away at it, so to speak, trying to get it done anyway. Well, until next time, this is Ernie, and we'll see you.